Fiber, if you have a lot of fiber in your diet, it kind of helps to move things through your bowel system and also move things through it a little bit quicker and also take other nutrients or things that you don't need with them. Waste products help to take waste products with them. Because you can't digest them, you can't break it down and you can't get any energy from it, nor any nutrients. But it does help, an important function of it is it helps to lower cholesterol by helping to move things through faster. The longer things sit in your digestive tract, the more chance you have to absorb things from them, and like the bad cholesterol. So this helps to take the cholesterol through your body. So just a quick recap, the 3 types of carbohydrates, we have sugars, starches, and fibers. Most carbohydrates come from what kind of a food source? Can anybody tell me? Plants. Plants, yes. Most carbohydrates are going to come from a plant source, a producer, something that can take energy from the sun and produces carbohydrates or produces sugars from photosynthesis. Now, why does fiber not provide us with any energy?
Because you can't not digest, because your body can't break it down.
Correct. Yes, if your body can't break it down, you're not going to be able to absorb anything from it. So we can't get any energy from it. So we're going to move on to proteins. Protein-rich foods include things like beef, poultry, fish, eggs, nuts, and dairy products. Can anybody note a common theme from the sources of proteins?
Animals?
Exactly. Most of the products, most of the sources, the good sources of proteins are going to be animal products because they're going to come from the muscle or the meat of another animal. With the exception of the beans and the nuts, all the rest of the sources, great sources of protein, are going to be animal sources. Proteins can be used for energy, but it's not a preferred source of energy for the body. But what your body can get from proteins is amino acids. The proteins are broken down in your digestive tract into their component amino acids, and we learned about the composition of proteins in a previous chapter. And not all proteins are complete. There are 20 essential amino acids, and most of those amino acids your body can produce on its own from the building blocks that you have in your body. But there are some amino acids that our bodies can't build. Therefore, we have to get them from an outside source by consuming proteins. So if you think of amino acids as kind of like Legos, to be able to build larger proteins, and if you need proteins for reactions in your body, then you have to be able to build them from those constituent amino acids from those Legos. And again, if your body can't make that particular amino acid, you do have to consume it from an outside source. And since not all proteins are complete, it's recommended to eat your protein from a variety of sources. For example, nuts may not have enough lysine, so you'd have to get that from maybe an animal source, or combining 2 different proteins together. Eating a variety of protein sources will make sure that you have enough of the essential amino acids to grow and develop and maintain bodily functions. And okay. So we move on to what is a calorie. Can anybody tell me what a calorie is? You hear a lot of people talk about calories all the time. Does anybody know what the definition of a calorie is? Brian?
It's an amount of energy. Like, I think calorie with a capital C is equivalent to like 1,000 lowercase calories. I don't remember how many joules it was. Yeah, something like that.
A calorie is just that. It's a unit of measure. It's a way to measure energy. Therefore, to measure the amount of energy from food that we get, we use calories. What's my time?
You have a couple minutes left if you want to use them.
I don't know why my son
just try to find where you were at and click on that. Like over on the side, you can drag that blue.
No, that's right
Oh, so that's,
there. Yeah,
I guess, the end of this slide. Okay.
sorry. Any questions? Does anybody have any questions? Brian?
When energy, you lose like, whatever, like 90% of it between trophic levels, are the calories that we see on nutrition what we're actually taking in, or is that after taking out 90%?
No, the calories that you're talking about on the nutrition label.
Yeah.
The calories that you see on the nutrition label is actually what you're taking in. But that is a good point. Whereas a secondary or primary consumer, such as a cow that eats grass all day, 90% of that energy is not going to be transferred to us when we eat that cow. So they're eating essentially that many times more grass to convert to energy for their bodies, and that's all being lost when a human would then go and consume that animal, or something else would consume that animal. Yes, we definitely do use a lot of the energy. That's why cows have to eat all day long. The other reason why cattle have to graze all day long is because they're eating mostly carbohydrates that don't stay in the body. They break down quickly and they don't stay with you very long, so they have to continuously consume food because they're not eating any sources of protein or fat that take long to digest.